The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed.
All right, welcome to the 180th episode of the World Blockchain Roundtable. Our hosts for today are Greg from Rivet, hello Greg, Andrew from the Legacy Right podcast. Zach is not here today because his internet is shot, I guess. Something going on bad. Maybe he will appear and disorder the arrangement of the squares on the screen. And I am from Den.social. And maybe if I would have been on top of things, I would have introduced you as the character. But anyway, Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. There's 180th episode. How many years is that?
Jeez, that's it's getting up there, isn't it?
Three, almost 4 years.
Half the year, almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Almost 4 years.
Yep, right on. And
we're gonna have really good
here.
LLMs later, like when people train LLMs to be us when we're no longer available. People basically be able to talk to us because we've been on here talking.
Yes, no, that's very good, very good. Let's see here, and trying to think. So, quick update on last week's layer ownership token distribution. Before we get into the other stuff, let's see here. The episode topic was DIY, the use of blockchains for small businesses. It was actually a pretty fun episode. I don't even remember how we got from small business to where we got, but it was still a good episode. By the way, we should probably work that where we have to start with whatever the topic is and to see how far away from that we can get by the end, right?
And we need a third-party objective opinion on it to determine how far we went.
Yes. Yeah, we could put it up for, that'd be good. So every host from last week will get 333 lot. So if any of you are Masons, maybe that matters. I don't know. I have no idea. I just know they're repeated numbers. It's a joke. I don't know. Don't kill me. Every topic contributor from last week will receive 125 lot. Last week's theme was nominated by the great Dayrox, or should it be Dayrox the Great? Should be Dayrox the Great.
I feel like either is acceptably honorific.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
And both are warranted.
Oh, it could be Magnus. Dayrox Magnus, right? Something like that. Anyway, he will receive 125 lot. Ownership tokens come with perpetual passive income, free edits, and governance votes. Make sure you get an account. Make sure you ask a question. Make sure you invite yourself on or something. Say, hey, I want to come on there, and counter William, because I don't know, whatever, right? Anyway, so let's see here. We have, I will put this up. The first thing to cover is Resolved on 10:30 at 6 a.m. I don't know if that's UTC or if it's my local time.
Sounds like UTC, because that was my vote that made that thing go over.
Oh, but this is not that one. This is
okay.
This is the first one, which is November themes. So
gotcha.
So we'll go through them here. So the first one there are 4 weeks in this November, 4 Thursdays. So the first winner was Preppers and Blockchain, which is Oxons, Dayrox, Legacy Zach, and Greg Lang voted for. Excellent. That one's gonna be awesome because I want to learn more about this, right? So Preppers and Blockchain. This is probably one of the most important things for the coming years. Actually,
Yeah. Well, there's some counterintuitive stuff there too, like things you wouldn't normally think of in computing are true with blockchain in a way that nothing else can do with respect to the locality of where the database lives.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Next question is, how would SBF answer questions from blockchains? And I don't know who proposed this. We should probably, I don't know. It'd be great if we put who proposed it in here in the title, right? We'll have to do that maybe. But
I have to, if I'm going to admit it, I got the first two.
Wow. You got the first two. Man. Yeah. See, we should be tracking that. That's awesome. And hopefully we can actually get SBF. And if he is still in prison, correct? Did they let him out yet?
I believe so.
Like it's an island prison.
Surprised they haven't, honestly.
Yeah. Anyway, I voted on that.
He's looking down the barrel of a gun right now.
So you can thank me for that. That's number 2. Next, post-election commentary, and we probably will want to make this the actual first week, even though it came in third.
That would be which is next week.
Do we know who contributed?
Yeah, I that was Bit by the Coin.
Brilliant. All right. And I am voted for that. Excellent. That one's going to be great. So it'll probably be the first. That'll probably be next week.
Yeah, that'll be next week.
So a couple of days after the election. Then 4th is DAOs on and off blockchains.
Oh boy, guess what? I put that one in.
Jeez, you got 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. Cha-ching.
Okay. Time Hoarder and Lisa Mighty Davis, Litecoin Lisa voted on that. DAOs and off blockchains. That one's going to be awesome too. Because I have a lot of opinions on that. So you'll have to shut me up during that one. The 5th one did not make it, but it'll be moved to next.
That's a good one,
right?
That is a really
common
good one.
crypto or blockchain myths, but it'll be a good February one, right? Jacob Wayne voted on that. I don't know who. Do you know who created this?
I did not look that one up.
It's so funny. It's like most of it's like,
actually
did you
make a
create
great
this?
Christmas. That would make a great Christmas episode because you can have
I did
basically the blockchain version of telling kids that Santa isn't real.
Yes. Yeah. Well, really, it's really funny, guys. SBF does not have your best interest in mind when you're giving him your staking funds, right?
Raven Chest did that one.
Excellent. Okay, then
Revenges. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Is crypto and the world becoming centralized or decentralized?
That's me.
Y'all weird voted on that. Okay, that's you. And that's a really good general one too. Then look, man, we have so many all the way down to the 7th. Blockchain and quantum voting. Ananda has a lot of.
I cannot wait.
Derox put that one in.
Very good.
We should really do that one very soon. That's
debunker proof. There are a bunch of good ones here. Santa's perfect. I can't remember who got that in. That's very smart. I remember we talked about that. Okay, so that was the first thing. First update. November themes are now selected. That is resolved and finalized. Somebody needs a gavel. Whoever ends up running DIN in that leadership role needs a gavel. Right. By the way, DINDAO just resolved a vote to appoint a leader. Upcoming is the title. I am going to vote for Emperor or the Latin form of that, and that will be great fun. Oh, look, Zach appears.
Here we are.
It's like
we'll see. We'll see if it's stable.
It's like we're playing. Never mind.
Musical chairs.
Joke is lost. Joke is lost.
It's just practice for when they use the internet kill switch to silence dissent.
Yes.
Probably. Yes. Yep. But they hit it a little early, didn't they? Maybe it's just an intern.
They're just testing it. Just like vote totals that they were testing at that. Before that.
So
one thing
resolved 24 hours ago. This is the one you were talking about, Greg. So October 31st was going to be the freeform theme. I propose we make it. Which team, or red or blue, will be best for blockchain?
By the way, that was submitted by Dayrox. So theoretically, if we're switching to that, Dayrox should get the credit for this week's theme.
I agree.
Really, they both ought to.
Makes sense.
No, I mean, this makes sense. Dayrox submitted this, but we're arranging the time.
Well, and Dayrox submitted my Meme Coin Madness as well.
Oh, well, there we go. So it's a perfect.
Either way, he's a winner.
Yeah, well, he is a winner. And nobody voted against it. So it's what is it? It is plurality. What is it? It's not unanimous because not everybody voted, or is it unanimous? We did get over 50%.
Plurality, yeah.
Plurality, I believe.
Yeah.
But we didn't get others. Like we didn't get the other 45% of people. Anyway, whatever. Who cares? So this episode then is now. Where's it at? Which candidate is best for blockchain?
Red or blue team? Yeah.
Yeah, red or blue team, and maybe it's red or orange team, right? Blue or red? Which president would be better for crypto industry? Episode 180. So that's it. Do we need to cover anything before we start?
So we're talking at this point in time about two very specific candidates, right? We're not trying to shoehorn Kennedy in, or are we?
Oh no, we that's open. Well, and it depends on the questions.
Yeah, I guess.
Because
Yeah,
the two would be better.
Yeah. Or
The two
Jill
would be better.
Stein or whoever.
But if we want to talk practically speaking, so people who want to vote like a crypto person would vote
So funny.
on
It's
these
so funny
issues,
how
then
it
we can talk
is
it like that too.
And when you think about it, it's so simple too that it's like, okay, we're going to separate these people, so we need to get as many different identities as possible that we can work to make them hate each other, and we're going to make them all colors. So blue, red, green. What other colors are there in the
Yellow.
landscape of the U.S.? Is there a yellow?
Yeah.
There's Mr. Pink, right? Yeah.
There's
God.
rainbow.
Anyway,
If you're,
Okay.
if you're talking about the Libertarian Party, it's rainbow now. It's all the colors of the rainbow.
The capital L, at least the Beltway one is. It's so true.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that party's dead, isn't it? It's as dead as the Republican Party is going to be. Or wait, which one is going to die? I don't even remember. Anyway,
The LP is.
I need to
probably
refresh. I need to refresh before we hit questions. Correct? Yes. Here we go. First question is from Dayrox. Maybe I'm mad, but I don't consider it madness anymore. I believe that meme coins have their own value. Question: will we create a WBRT meme coin on a popular blockchain? So do we?
I want to go
withhold this
first.
question, or yeah, go ahead and go. Go ahead and go. We'll
Even
go ahead.
though it's not on part of the theme, I will honor this question because Derek had actually put this theme up anyway. I would say yes. However, it's already been created. We have LOT, which is a token, and it's World Blockchain Roundtable. There you go. So technically, into
we could actually. We could
have.
probably.
Yeah.
We could do a liquidity pool if we wanted to.
Sure. So there are
Let's do it.
tokens for World Blockchain Roundtable, and anyone out there can get them. All you got to do is submit a theme that gets voted on and passes. You'll
have to do
earn
something.
tokens. Post a question, you'll earn tokens. Rise up to the occasion and become a panelist like myself. I started with nothing, and now I'm dominating.
And now we're here.
What we should
You
do, you know
know?
what we should do, guys? We should make make it entirely SEC proof by making it an unlimited supply that you can get in exchange for not coin.
Yeah.
And the rule will be basically you can get as much of this as you want out of the spigot until someone orders us to shut it off, and that will only happen if we get sued because someone says this is a security. So by suing us for creating a security, they'll make it into a security in a way that can't be separated from the original act of creating the token, and they'll have to go jump in a lake when we win in a summary judgment at the beginning of the case.
Man, so what you're saying is we really need legal coins, not meme coins, right?
Right.
Like some
Meme
has
coins is technically kind of beneath the law. They could go
Can I
after
say
anyone.
something? Who wouldn't want? And maybe we could put some interesting, fun little thing in there where anyone who has ever been on World Blockchain Roundtable, that includes all guests, will have their what's the word I'd want? Their visit, their likeness on a meme coin. And whoever holds that meme coin is kind of betting. I'll bet that Greg's gonna be on the show next week, right? And maybe they get something when Greg is on the show, right? Right. And maybe they get a bonus if they ask a question on the show that Greg is on, right? Maybe
We could
something
set it
like
into.
that.
We could link it into Polymarket's API.
That
There you
I have
go.
no idea. I have no idea. But either way, we could do that pretty readily because that's all like the back end of that is all pretty flexible. I don't know. That could be fun. Anyway.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that if we did a meme coin, that's what I would do. I'd say we all have to have our pictures on there and maybe stylized, whatever. But
I think we make it about Sean, honestly.
Yeah, we
think
gotta
the token
have
needs
some.
to be
Yes.
themed on Sean. Like it needs
Absolutely.
to be the Satoshi Sean token.
Absolutely. He's got a good story. He always has got a good story to tell.
Right. And he's
that's true.
also got like the marketing built up right in, right? You know,
Right.
like
I
he's
love it.
everybody's best friend. Come on.
I love it. I didn't
love how
realize
his
that.
hat says shit coins on it. That's the meme coin right there. If I was going to launch one,
Yeah. I always like it when Sean's on. It's better. It's a better show when Sean's on.
That's the name for it right there. Sean Shitcoin.
No, that would be. Let's see here. All right. Was this in
I think
response?
morality coin would be better.
Or morality coin got a ring to it.
It does have
Morality
a ring
coin.
to it.
Oh my god, that's funny. All right. And by the way, that we are still missing. I forgot to say at the beginning that that still John, who is still in the tunnels of New York. Take off your hat to Sean. I'll take off my headset, and we will say we'll have a little moment of silence for Sean.
And John.
Yep.
John, say that. I meant,
One day you'll get out of those tunnels,
missing.
buddy. Keep looking.
That John made that thing about Sean. He also made the Greg Tools one. He never made one for me. I'm still offended, and who knows? Maybe that's why he's disappeared. I don't know. Let's see here. Next question: the Great Crypto Escape. Okay, so now we're getting into politics and presidential stuff. I do believe this is from I Am for I Am. How can crypto investors and the crypto space escape politics? I'll try to make it bigger so you can see it better.
Oh, can I take this? I'll take this first.
Go.
Yeah. Don't listen to Michael Saylor. That's my advice.
It's good advice.
Very good. What do you think, Andrew?
Oh man. Well, I did post a token contract for that. So I don't know if you can share that or not. But
Let me see. I'll look.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let me see.
I think if we all invest in that token contract, we can escape the system.
Now, what's this on
Of
though?
course.
There are many chains.
ERC20.
Okay. All right. Here is this it right here? Is this one it? Contract. What is it? I don't even know what it is.
We give a fuck.
It's what?
What?
We give a fuck.
What's the name of the token? It's a meme coin. Who gives a fuck?
Let's see here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, F coin. F coin.
Okay.
Yeah, I know F coin.
F coin. Wow.
There's also asses out there.
Yeah.
There's some other
anything you
ones.
want, really.
I get your
Anything you
point
want.
now, Andrew. Yeah, I'm with you.
Right.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's see here. Is that William? I'm like,
First and foremost, I would say decentralization, right? Secondly, I would say if you want to escape, the tyranny, then, you got to probably work with privacy coins and start there.
Yeah.
DAOs are a good way if your coin or your blockchain, whatever, needs to have some kind of management or governance. There you go. A DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, would be the way to go. Again, keyword decentralized. Maybe you might want to think of different jurisdictions in the world where you would launch from that would be a little bit more pro crypto than, say, the US.
You
DEX.
just stole my question. I had a question for you to go off that point. Like, should we start looking elsewhere in the world? Maybe
100%. I wouldn't do anything here within the U.S., regardless of who's going to be elected.
Yeah.
But then you got to think of your jurisdiction beyond just the coin launch, but where it's going to be traded, and that's where I would favor a DEX, a completely decentralized exchange, And you need to think about self-custody. You don't want that third party holding your coins and be subject to political pressures, regulations. So I think that's kind of where you gotta look at. You gotta, if you really want to escape it, and it's very difficult to do. There you have it. That's my opinion.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Let's see, Greg.
Okay, so I'm going to give a specific answer, a very specific answer, and then a general answer. And they're going to contradict one another. It'll seem at first, but once you put them together and try to make them fit, it'll make more sense. So there are two pieces of the stack that we really need to get in place before we can have a decentralized everything, right? One of them is infrastructure, and we need to figure out a way to basically federate a marketplace in little providers of any kind of infrastructure there is. That is the way that we need to do that, and we're working on it with DIN at Rivet, but we're still kind of in the early phases. People will hear about that more as we get closer to launch, but it's gonna come, right? Decentralized infrastructure. Two is we need to find a way to make the process of getting decentrally hosted pages easier. People need to not have to try to figure out all the nuances of putting something up on IPFS. It should be as easy as publishing to a web server. Somebody will be figuring that out. As soon as somebody figures that out and you can link that to all of the back end parts all the way down the stack, there's no need to mess with politics. The answer is then build what you want because nobody can stop you. The real future there can only be got through politics, unfortunately, because whether or not you're interested in it, it will be interested in you. So we need to fight the rearguard movement so that while the builders finish up, there's still an ecosystem left that is genuine, that hasn't been corrupted, left. And that's what the political fights are good for right now. That's why it matters to fight for politics and blockchain, and why we can't quite escape it yet. We have to win a battle first.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well said.
That's great. And I would say, I would add to that, I think the philosophical side, it's an interesting thing when we go into, I am mentioned privacy coins and, the potential to use those infrastructures. What if, for example, DIN decided to swap everything, Matter, Lore, and Lot over to Xano or something, right? Where it would be all privacy based. Like, why not? Some of that could make good sense. And there's, I've talked about it in the past that, you read, I try to read a lot of ancient books, right? So, if you had some philosophical,
against the gods is like good.
Yeah, with philosophical applications of, how would Seneca see decentralized privacy networks, right? I mean, how would you therefore apply those principles in that space? That's what we need to start looking at, because, then you have both the physical side of, the fact that, I say physical, it's not actually physical, but maybe the technical side, where decentralized networks, the fact that they can't control them, tied also to the philosophical side, where I can control my own thoughts and my own actions, and everything else doesn't matter, because everything else, the state can come and get me, they can kill me, but they can't actually harm me if I have the right philosophy, right? So that's the type of stuff. If we can tie all those things together, we probably have a winning combination that they can't actually get us with. They could kill us, but they can always kill us.
Other things that really matter too, I think, are the fight for privacy. I think they're dovetailed. I think that privacy solutions are kind of in the same boat, right there with immutable money and immutable databases.
Well, and it's really interesting because we're coming upon where a lot more people are now understanding maybe why some of these things were made. It isn't because a number go up. It isn't because I want to retire early. It's because
we wanted to give it unalienable characteristics of freedom.
Exactly. That's the reason. And that's where Bitcoin failed. Absolutely. That's where a lot of other projects have failed, in fact. A lot of projects at their start have failed because they're focused on things that already exist in the banking world. And it's like, what do I give a shit about usury? I don't really care about usury in crypto. It's ridiculous. So anyway, okay.
I did have a serious response to that.
Yeah. Go.
Okay, just real quick. think about like cables that they send between each other behind the scenes, like from WikiLeaks and stuff like that. If we could find a way to converge that with a mining process and make it mandatory that all their communications are mined across there and build up from there. Say eventually you go to media or just regular web browser, small HTML files and stuff like that, and just continuously build up. I think that would help with transparency.
Ultimately, we need to force the government on chain by our political power to get rid of them entirely as a threat.
Well,
Which
to the point of like privacy tokenization, I mean, and usury. I think it'd be harder for any source to be able to ride on that form of theft with crypto, just because you have so much decentralization. So I mean,
it's a good point. It's built in, right? Because you can safely do under collateralized loans, but you can't over collateralize a loan on chain. There's no real way to do that without either maybe some dark maths that I'm unaware of on some kind of side chain, but it's possible that we can make it so that you can't ever borrow more than you have.
You sure we can do derivatives better on blockchain, guys? we can do them better, right? Isn't that right? I was like, I'm sorry. Anyway.
The other thing I'm going to add is we could also overwhelm their system.
Yes.
Imagine if thousands and thousands of us all of a sudden created a bunch of ICOs and we used Greg's token. What is it called? That's like no name token or whatever it is.
Oh, you wouldn't want to use Notcoin for that. Notcoin is a joke. It was a joke we made.
Well,
where,
I'm meaning as a payment for shares to the ICO or something of that nature.
Morality coin you're talking. Okay, I got
you. So that way, we would overwhelm them with all these ICOs that they would have to investigate. And meanwhile, here we're marching off into privacy.
Right, and every single one of them lodges a Chevron defense.
Post-Chevron
defense as soon as the case starts.
So
you have to prove SEC that you have any justification.
If you could have
a counterstrike to help escape.
Yeah, if we could create some form of ownership where you are able to send, let's say, this is a stupid idea, but it's funny that if I were able to send a token to my neighbor who has no crypto, no wallets, nothing else, but by his address or by his name, we can assume ownership and ledger ownership of this token, then we could involve the entire world. Right, then the entire world. So we basically, we send these things to everybody, including the politicians, which we send a lot to, so they have a tax liability.
We should make sure they all route through Tornado Cash too, so that
every
single one of them
all
makes every single person who gets one.
They all get arrested. Some of them get droned. That'd be great, right?
I love it.
I mean, because we'd be in, but so would they.
Yeah. So we need that mechanism. We need a way to attach physical ownership to this without any, I was like, I don't even know. How do I own that? It's like, you're here on the register, sir. Come with us.
Yes. I love it.
Senator, I don't know what you're doing. All right, let's see here. Next, I am. Who is the bigger villain? Gollum, except you misspelled his name. I'm offended.
Dude,
I
Gollum.
did.
I
don't know.
Maybe
I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
If Gollum wasn't there, then the ring would have gone into would not have gotten into Frodo's hands, would have fallen into the hands of the Dark Lord.
I don't know. If Gollum wasn't there, I think that Sam might have overpowered. He just carried him up the freaking mountain. I think he could have overpowered him.
Yeah.
Right.
Gosh.
So,
What is funny
Gensler,
is,
however,
why does Gary Gensler look like Gollum?
I know. Don't they look
know.
like look at the hands and everything?
You're not supposed
Gary
to say
Gensler
that.
would swallow the ring, so you'd have to wait till he shit it out to throw it in the fire.
No, don't wait
I
to
don't know.
shit it out. Just throw him and the ring in the fire.
Just throw him
that
in.
would
Oh,
work.
looks like a
but,
fish.
Yeah, Gensler
He certainly wouldn't be throwing himself in, is all I'm saying.
Gollum has some redeeming characteristics in his split personality, right? And I don't think Gary has a split personality.
Does Gary have a twin?
He has a brother. I think he does have a twin brother, actually. Doesn't
Does he
I've heard
really?
this.
Just
yeah.
like
Wow.
Look it up.
Is it
Look it up.
is it a twin brother or a doppelganger?
Oh,
If I remember right, it's a twin brother. He has there was something one of the investigators pulled out for some reason involved in something that was interesting. But And maybe I dreamt that. I don't know. It's like this dude appears in all my nightmares. He's worse than Clayton. Everybody's like,
he looks really funny in clown
taught
makeup,
a class
though.
at MIT. He taught a crypto. He's going to be our guy,
God.
right?
You
remember that? You remember that, right?
He was also their guy for, if you guys remember the CFTC and the early 2010s.
Evil.
He was our guy for manipulating the value of the dollar directly. He was in charge of regulating a firm that was involved in the fraudulent manipulation of the value of the dollar relative. Yeah, the DYDX scandal.
He had meetings.
Look up MF Global is all I'm saying. Look up MF Global and Gary
we already know
see the shenanigans that he did to permit that.
Well, in his current role, he had meetings with SBF with the purpose, explicitly for SBF to help them write the rules for crypto.
Dude, he protected his buddy.
And were it not for my hero, one of my heroes, CZ, Binance, we wouldn't even know that, right? We would know that maybe, but we wouldn't know that SBF was stealing as much as he was.
So we should look at the question because it's different from the meme.
Okay, so we'll start with that, and we'll go down. We'll go down. So starting with Greg, who is the most anti-crypto politician, and will he or she have more powers after the election?
I would go currently the most anti-crypto politician, right? Is to me, fucking liar Liz Warren, right? That psychopath is the most dangerous to crypto person in the whole thing, and she's just about to get more dangerous because after this election, she will have either lost to John Deaton, which if you guys are planning to vote and you haven't yet, that's a race that matters.
If you're in Massachusetts,
because
or if you're an illegal alien, please go up there and vote for Deaton.
He's pushing her
I'll give you a
crypto
burrito.
positions, and she's moderating. So what that means is she's going to keep her animus embedded and come back wanting to work with the crypto people towards reasonable regulation. Every provision she puts in is going to be designed to make it more authoritarian and try to open a wedge so that it can be made her way later. Yep. She will certainly try to frame the debate.
Yep. All right. Let's see if we can get consensus on this. Dangerous. I am.
I don't think Elizabeth Warren is the worst of the worst. I think the biggest offender right now is still Gary Gensler. But I'm going to go back into time a little bit, and the 2017, if we remember our history, in December, the CME was launched by Steve Mnuchin with the Trump's approval. And that very next day is when Bitcoin had broke and busted down to well below $10,000 after it hit its all-time high of 17 and change. So in one regard, you could say that movement is the first step to bring in, the money from Wall Street and big banks and CIA and everyone else into the blockchain space. That was kind of like legalized it.
And how do you pronounce his name?
Mnuchin.
Oh yeah, Mnuchin.
And Steve Mnuchin, he was a Treasury Secretary, and he approved, along with Trump, the launch of the CME, which is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which allowed Bitcoin to be then traded as a futures, like a commodity.
Right.
So that was huge. And then
how is he related to Gary?
Well, I was just going to say that then the next one would be maybe Gary, or maybe the predecessor to Gary. Who's the one from Ohio? Brown? I can't remember.
We have direct evidence though of Gensler being a puppet of of Warren though. Right?
Yeah.
True.
Or the opposite. Who knows? Yeah. Right.
And now
they're both puppets, I guess.
Yeah. Who now the one who's pro crypto is probably, I don't honestly think we have a lot of pro crypto people in Congress. Only a handful maybe. But who's the one? Is just like from Wyoming or something? What's her name? Loomis or something like that?
Yes. Cynthia?
Cynthia Loomis.
Kevin McCarthy's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
He actually raises the right issues. Like when I'm pissed about something crypto, it's a Tuesday, it's a Wednesday, it's a day ending in day. When I'm pissed off about what they're talking about with respect to certain issues, like he's always on top of the ones that if they get wrong, they'll fuck the space over.
True. So who well, Loomis, but I guess we have to think about who's going to win next week in the presidency on the U.S. side of things is going to determine if Gary's going to be expanded in his role or move up to Secretary of Treasury, which has been hinted by Kamala.
That would be the end. That would be devastating. From there, he could actually destroy us.
Yeah, he could. Making
don't try to change my mind on this.
So,
anyway,
here you go. There's what I have.
Okay.
That's what I have.
Andrew, what do you think?
I'm gonna be a little contrarian right here. I remember back 2016, 2017, Jamie Dimon was trying to get on the card here for crypto, and he's calling it a shit coin and stuff like that. And as soon as he did that, the price capitulated for a moment, and this bank bought up a large supply. And I think that that brought some legitimacy to Bitcoin Core, which enabled a bunch of safe Washington personalities to get involved and make a presence known, so that they can legitimize it and manipulate it, control it. So Ted Cruz, for example.
That's right. Ted Cruz has said pro Bitcoin stuff, right?
Good point.
Throw back to 2014 real quick. Interesting story. I got to tell you guys this. I had some friends back in 2014, right around the time Silk Road finally got caught. When they caught Dread Pirate Roberts and unmasked him and sent him to prison as Ross Ulbricht, and we all know that story, right? During that time, I tried to talk a whole bunch of friends into going in on Bitcoin. So I was like, this is going to the moon, man. It's crazy. And they're like, nah, as soon as Silk Road goes down, it's going to be over. I remember that particular moment being one where I wish I had won the argument, because the feds went in and shut down Silk Road, and they walked away with the payment system they used unshut down. And people did not miss that particular point. I think that was really an inflection point for when the price took off. So it was shortly after that people were like, "Holy shit, this is real."
Okay, my answer. I mean, the most standard fare that about would be Warren. That she came in to control the banks. She was an anti-bank candidate when she came in. And she's obviously owned by the banks, and those are the people holding the puppet strings for her, and for Gensler largely, VCs as well. So they're not politicians, but if you think about it, like the higher level, who's pulling those strings on?
The guy that chaired the Presidential Economic Council. This is a group that sits sort of adjacent to the cabinet and advises cabinet members on what they should do. It was chaired by a former aide of Elizabeth Warren. He then became the chief economic advisor to the
and look at commonality, like Munchin, Gensler. Who are these people, and why are they appearing all over the place in all these roles, right? So I mean, Gensler. Man, if he ended up in a higher role after this fiasco, it's pretty telling, right? I think, I hope, I thought forever that Deaton would beat her, and I still think he will, but I've not looked at any polls. And Massachusetts is a very different place, so it's hard to say. But we'll see. And Gensler, I mean, I don't know. I would put money on Trump winning or being selected. I'll just say winning, being selected, however that works. Though I'm not going to vote. I'm on the record. I'm not going to vote. And
look at his speech at Bitcoin conference when he says he was shocked that he got such a big ovation and clap when he said he would fire Gary Gensler.
Yeah. He did not know it was that.
I don't think he. Yeah, he's a little bit clueless about
these people are so separated from reality. They don't know all they know is, oh, this guy gave me $100 million, and so they want me to say XYZ. They want me to go to these various Israeli American conferences. That's their life. That's all they really know, right?
That's
so
right.
the rest of this
if we left
like,
this weekend, guys,
give us,
if we left
give
this
them
weekend,
cake.
we could all drive to a state, the nearest to us, that offers early voting with or not early voting, or voting without having to show ID, like in California. We could all go to the
No.
we could drive into San Bernardino Park and go vote. That we could all put our votes in that way.
Well, theoretically you could do that, but it wouldn't matter because they're how they're counting them is what matters. So
it would be a fun street show to go illegally vote when you're obviously citizens.
All right, and Zach is here now. So what's his answer?
Isn't what state was that actually had, was it Massachusetts or was it New York, where like they actually ruled that they found a whole bunch of illegal alien votes, and then they ruled that they have to be counted.
The Carolinas,
the Supreme Court overturned that. They're removing them from the rolls.
In Virginia, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lufkin.
I know it's over there in the mid-Atlantic area, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's the South, isn't it? People are gonna tell me, that's Joe. That's the South. Virginia is the South. Okay, so
that's right. It was Virginia.
Zach, who's the most anti-crypto politician, and will he or she have more power after the election?
I mean, that's a tough question because honestly, I think they're all pretty much enemies. But I would have to actually go, as much as he's making a lot of promises, Donald Trump, because of the rumor that he might have Jamie Dimon in his cabinet. And Jamie Dimon will be a stickler for shutting down crypto and anything decentralizing.
He'll want to make sure that only his bank is allowed to custody it.
Real quick though,
exactly.
Yeah, all right, real quick. Was it not Chase Bank that chose all of the cabinet for Obama? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Chase.
That is correct.
Bank. So it's interesting. Is it someone else? Is it BlackRock now saying, okay, because I don't think there'd be a conflict of interest. And these people are so honorable, there'd be no conflict of interest that they'd say, you need to appoint me. So it must be BlackRock telling him, hey, you need diversity. You need one person from each of the banks.
The torch was passed from Obama to Biden.
Each of the 13
the torch was passed to BlackRock.
And we all know how many dual citizens the freaking Belgians control everything in the current cabinet. That there are so many dual citizen Belgians in this current. Just look it up; it's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you would have never thought that some small country like Belgium would control the United States of America. They're supposedly the most powerful and free country in the world, if I remember right. That's what I was told. Okay, let's see here.
Sadly, it may still be true.
Yeah.
Nah. Okay, let's see here.
Oh, I like that.
Leopold gets his revenge.
WBRT. We have. Oh, see, I can't see it all because of the stupid browser. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
WBRT.
This was a vote about the confusion on this week's topic.
Who stole the wheels? And was this in a bad neighborhood? Is this one of the Mare? What would it be? Anyway. All right.
It was in California.
It was probably.
Okay.
It was San Francisco.
So we've already covered this. And this doesn't matter now. Okay. I didn't understand this proposal. It did pass. Is that what you're saying? That it hadn't passed at this point?
Yeah, it hadn't passed at that point.
That's good. All right, good deal.
Oh,
all right. Oh, look at this. Legacy Zach for the win.
Oh,
right on.
He
didn't attach a picture though. I am disappointed.
How does
the
I should have attached a picture.
It doesn't need
How does the future of crypto look for the world if Kamala Harris is elected? And is it Kamala or Kamala? I don't know. President of the United States.
Edits, by the way.
Or Donald Trump. Or Donald Trump.
You have free edits.
That is true. You have free edits, Zach.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So who wants to take us first? Let's start with Zach. Let's just go up again. So before he gets cut off again.
Honestly, the future, I think it still looks bright because I think if Kamala gets in, I think you're going to see a lot of people looking for a lot of ways to divert away from the beacon of DC. So I mean, I think the best for the crypto community, the best opportunity is actually for Harris to win before everything gets cemented and they try to come down hard and allocate the assets of say Bitcoin to the big banks. So we'll
Very
see.
good.
But at the same time, Donald Trump, I mean, the outlook looks more like it becomes more centralized. Maybe if the rumor is true that he's going to have Larry Fink and Jamie Dimon in his cabinet. So, but Harris, I think the outlook looks brighter.
All right. Very good. How about you, Andrew?
Well, I think if Kamala Harris gets in, you're gonna see what Aaron Day's been talking about on his Twitter account and stuff like that about how they're trying to basically force an unjust law. I mean, they do the dime a dozen, but specifically to manipulate and control the crypto markets and the tax system even further and more centralize it to under their control. If for some reason Donald Trump was to win, I can see he's gonna try to ride the curve, ride the wave, and pay off
Give it a push.
as much debt as he can. Yeah, give it a push. But that's only wrestling slang. Sorry.
That's fine. It's all good.
That's only that's going to be more of a temporary thing because it's just going to give the people that are really influential behind the scenes that are on Kamala's sides, quote unquote, time to prep more for more. Go back to the chalkboard and find new ways to centralize their control over the economy and all that.
And that's where and that goes to my point, counter or on top of yours is I think Harrison is brighter for the crypto community to diversify and get the hell out, pretty much, and protect themselves before the shit kabang goes kaboom.
Right on, William.
Well, I'm going to have a little bit different take. I think that the world is going to have the everything bubble pop, and eventually that's going to happen. More than nobody knows when, but that's inevitable. So think of that as the airplane that's going down, and we got a mountain in front of us. And I'm going to say that Kamala would probably be doubling down and pushing forward on the rudder or the stick, right? Or maybe Trump would be pulling up, but it doesn't matter. We're still going to hit. And so as you're coming down with so much force, it's going to break the wings might pop off, which brings me to this point. If we do have an election, which it looks like we will, and it is contentious or it's very close, there's a good chance that half of the country is not going to be happy with the outcome or believe it or trust it. And if that's the case, then either Texit or Calexit is going to become very popular in those states. And the crypto market is what? I know it's just a number. It's $2.38 trillion according to Coin Market Cap. And we know that that's off a bit, but
that's in inflation
because everyone sells
right?
off, comes down. But
that's in inflation dollars.
Right. But the point I'm making here is that irregardless of who wins, the plane is going to crash. And the crypto market is either going to get pushed stronger towards the privacy side of things, like say Jeffrey Diamond and Larry Fink, or a Gensler getting elevated to Secretary of Treasury. We're going to see a lot of the normies say, well, they say it's illegal, so I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it alone. And it's going to that 2.38 trillion, whatever, is going to shrink. But there's going to be a group of hardcore people that are going to say, you know what? No, this is it. I'll draw my line in the sand and I'm going to fight with counter economics, agorism, and all these other stuff. And they're going to push for more privacy crypto, privacy tokens, decentralization. And it could be a win-win either way for that. But there's going to be a lot of heartache, a lot of battle, a lot of pain. It's a war. And Aaron Day's got it right.
Yep.
I'm going to take this a level above here, right? I'm going to take this a level above. You think of all of the base systems that support civilization, an electricity grid that is on, sanitation, things like that, basic pieces of the world that we need in order to have modern civilization, are a lot more at risk to global nuclear war under a Harris regime than under a Trump regime. We've seen
Agreed.
that guy de-escalate over and over and over again, and we've seen nothing but I will go whichever way I'm being told to go from the regime that Harris represents the replacement for, right? She's another Biden, maybe a dumber Biden, you know. Like I think he might be more together than she is, honestly. And
That's
that
kinda
makes her
sad.
that makes her more pliable. That means when it comes to war with Iran, we'll see more fucking strikes. Like we will
Mhm.
see those people get the day if she wins, and that's why we need Trump to win, because in order to have a free world economy, we have to have a world in the first place.
Good point.
That's interesting.
What a,
I wish
what a
Sean was
black,
here.
what a
So-
black pill.
I would have loved
What
to
a
have heard
black
Sean's
pill.
answer.
My
But
answer is future of crypto. I do think that if Harris wins, we're more likely to consolidate into a more philosophical approach that we do need, where
Mhm.
we're going to be forced there. That number go up is going to be killed, right? Number go up won't exist in as much as, I mean, I guess it will in some ways, because inflation is going to cause number go up to go up quite a bit. But
Yep.
you know, my
No,
hope
no,
is that
that's
people will be buying privacy coins with gold, and
Mhm.
that is the future. And we're just growing vegetables and doing our own thing. That would be the best thing. But if Trump wins, with my opinion, I mean, in my opinion, it's preferable, right? But
Yeah.
it is also just kicking the can down the road. I mean, we've seen
Mhm.
half the
Joe,
stuff that
can
he has supported is I don't believe until I see it, because of his last 4 years. It wasn't like this is the first time in, and he didn't do half the
Exactly.
shit that he should have done. That was obvious he should have done, and he hasn't been able to explain why. But if he do, I think he's going to appoint someone. I don't want him to appoint someone better at the SEC. I don't want him to end the SEC. That's who I
Mhm.
want, and that's not Trump, right? We need whoever the
and
fuck
the
that is.
FBI.
We
And the
need
FBI.
and the FBI and the IRS and
right.
the
I mean, it is
All
good to
all
steel
alphabet
man your
agency.
system. It is good to steel
CIA.
man your system.
and the Fed.
But
If you can get rid of the Fed, that's the head of the snake. That all of the infinite money comes from the Fed. We get rid of the Fed, crypto is going to be the way that everyone will realize, oh shit, this is legit.
it'll be, well, I mean, crypto is the Fed's
Or-
demise.
Yes.
Right.
Or
It
do
may,
you
it may
even
already
have
be the
to-
wound.
It should be,
Do
but
you
it's,
even have to end the Fed? I mean, with crypto,
It's
could
ending
you?
itself.
Could you effectively maybe appoint somebody that actually can just let it wither, help it
it's
wither
possible,
away?
but it's like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm going to leave
You
the
can.
snake out there in my yard.
Here's
They'll be
another-
forced to,
You know,
right?
because
Once
that's
we
the
get
thing.
the snap
Someone
on
will
them.
come in the future. This is a
It's not all the way up
democracy.
yet.
Someone will come in the future and
Yeah.
use it for what it's being used for now. It's like, oh, you know what? We have this mechanism over here. Why don't we just create a bunch of, you look at what Tether, right? Why don't we just print a bunch of Tether so we can boost up Bitcoin and start some more over here?
Yeah.
Screw that, right?
Here's
And
a
that's
thought.
why,
What
you
we
do
really
need to end it,
need
and you need to see people. I think to correct society, you need to see these people hanging on lampposts. I don't think there's any other way for people to psychologically understand we aren't ever going to do that again, right? Because otherwise, it's how many times has it happened in this country alone in the short time that this country's been around? National banks. It's like it's happened too many times.
We'd be better off giving them a one-time opportunity to get out on a cushy severance package. That would probably be the fastest way to get rid of them, I think.
Yeah.
This is a blockchain. This is a blockchain show,
Okay,
and
great.
what we have is we have the first time in human history we have real solid programmable money without any third party, without a government involved, and maybe the first step is a world reserve currency that is programmable blockchain money that nobody can touch or alter or change, and we would have a ledger that you could see it, and then every country that's attached to it, they're damned if they're gonna use their fiat and print it endlessly. They're going to be damned, and their people are going to suffer.
It should be
Because
a
this Beacon
competition.
on the Hill is a programmable money with scarcity that is used as the reserve currency for the world.
Yep.
That's
transparent.
Well, and free exit because there are 15 others competing with it.
Exactly. There should be multiple currencies. All the countries can choose which ones they want, and the people can choose which ones they want. And there you go.
And that's what Satoshi gave us. We I look at the they say that the U.S. Constitution was a 5,000 year leap. First time that we really moved away from monarchy and had more of a true republic. That's to be debated, especially what we have now. But Satoshi gave us that. He gave us the ability to have programmable money that is not in the hands of government. And that is huge. And we're just at the very tiny infant stages of that becoming a dominant force.
And there's the real question, by the way, as Greg said, I think who was it? Which one of you said just a minute ago that crypto is what will kill the Fed? And I do think
crypto
that is.
I think crypto is a manifestation
it already is.
Of its death throes. This is a symptom of its sickness. Is something like this coming into existence?
Yes, but we need. That's why philosophically, this industry and the people who understand this need to basically make communicate that this is the way that will end the slavery that we exist under right now. Right. That this is the way, and it's going to fight back. It has unlimited money.
How cheap everything would be by now if we had free money.
Exactly,
well,
and
this is
they have all this inflation yet.
A huge issue is denominate or is in pricing crypto with dollars. It is so nonsensical.
How cheap would a big screen HD TV be right now without inflation?
Sorry, Zach.
It'd probably be $1.
Right. Exactly.
But but I mean, to the point of ending the Fed or fighting the Fed or how it's going to end, and if crypto has, historically. If you read The Creature from Jekyll Island, it's actually like Griffin pinpoints. He gives you this trek of what the Fed is meant to do, and the Fed effectively is supposed to end itself to give it to the hands of the World Bank and the IMF to reassess. But there's an obstacle in the way of how they're going to end the Fed, and that's crypto, because crypto is effectively subverting their way of how they're going to end this, so we can go on to world governance banking cartel.
They're trying to co-opt it, though, right?
So
they want to.
They are trying to co-opt
their own.
Yeah,
but the brilliance is, and to William's point as well, is you can't, as much as they try to co-opt it, you can't really confiscate it like you can with gold and silver. So that's the brilliance of how we're going to rule the day in the future.
Exactly.
Well, and that's what Eric Day. On Eric Day's channel, he talked about how we're really at the edge here. It's a real danger, because what they're getting to, and what even Michael Saylor, I think, is moving us towards, is making it illegal for us to have self-custody of crypto.
Right.
They want everyone to go into some other third party and have custody of your crypto.
They don't want anybody owning a wallet that doesn't also require them as a signatory.
Can we tar and feather Michael Saylor?
Everybody gets a multi-sig with them as your buddy.
I'm looking for that.
We need to bring back tar and feather. We need to bring back tar and feathering and tar and feather this guy.
Shaming.
Have you guys ever set up a multi-sig wallet before?
Yes.
You know how you can just delegate certain authorities to some wallet holders and others to not? Like, you can definitely give someone spend capacity and deposit capacity without giving them the ability to say decide not to do certain transactions when demanded.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Sailor's a Fed. We know it now, and or whatever else. I say Fed. He's something, but not to be trusted.
Your signature can expire as long as you haven't done
he's
the thing
Mossad.
they require of you yet.
Is
That's
he?
how they would
it all goes back to the juice.
Is it? Yep. No doubt. All right. Okay. Next question. I am for I am. What is he? Senegalese? Is that this?
Yeah, what you can't get on that island, you'll get killed.
Yeah, we need more places like that. Maybe we got it. This is about the
Yes.
place where we should send all of the politicians. Okay, you have exile to what is it? Is it North Single? What is it? Is that right?
I don't know where it's at.
I
It's
can't
off
remember.
of India, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go there and make your way there and
I
see
think
if
we have
they
natural
enter.
allies. Just can I jump in
As
on
long
this
as we don't send them to St. James Island, I'm fine with that. That might
That's
give
where they
them
already
incentive
go.
to. They
We've
already
got
Just-
natural allies here,
yeah.
dude. This I think
Alright.
this one's an obvious one.
All right,
Just
I think,
which
yeah.
tribe? And we're going to go
Just-
down for this one. Which tribe, blue, Camel, or red Trump, will be best for blockchain projects and the crypto space? So if you're talking for the 4-year term, not long term, which one is the best for? And I'll just say
We're talking about the
Trump
tribe.
would be best, but I don't trust that he will be, and I actually don't know that he will be any better than Kamala because I don't.
No,
Okay, he's
you're
going to
talking
fire.
about the
He's going to
tribe,
fire Gensler, and he's going to hire somebody else that all the Bitcoin maximalists will praise as having, giving some lecture. He'll appoint Saylor or some shit, and
he'll probably appoint Larry Fink.
yes, he'll appoint Larry Fink. Oh my God, yes.
Or Larry
So-
Fink, operation
Greg.
officer.
So
Greg,
Yeah.
here we go. I'm gonna say the answer to this is definitely the red tribe, because the tribe around Trump is decidedly pro crypto. I mean, this is the we love the Doge concept crowd. This is the crowd that
His son is selling NFTs,
single-handedly
right?
memed to death every attempt at counter argument Kamala has made this cycle. Right, like these people are smart, funny, and the sort of crowd you want around builders. They're optimistic type. I think maybe the Kamala crowd's a little more composed of all the crypto people who really aren't in it for the crypto and or the building, and then you've got all the alphabet soup people, right, that are out there trying to shout for censorship. Of course, they're not going to be for anti-censorship systems. Like, these people are not our crowd. You want to look at a Venn diagram of Trump supporters and Kamala supporters that are open and public about it. You look at a Venn diagram of people who are going to like the crypto future that we create and people who are going to hate it.
Yep. All right. I am.
I'm gonna say, Trump is going to help with the crypto price and the Bitcoin, maxis and that tribe. So I'll go with that, But then there again, the right wing, left wing, it's the same bird. So in 2028, expect a market crash in the crypto world, right? It's kind of ridiculous because it's the same bird, it's the same tribe, it's the same regime, not government. In my humble
Different
opinion.
actor.
So I think that maybe for the price and for privacy to get a deeper hold in society, and adoption is the red team.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew.
I'm going to go a little abstract here. I'm going to say Kamala because she'll run up the debt even further. And that'll cause the banks to vacillate between Wall Street and the ideologues in Europe and in the education system and International Monetary Fund. And that vacillation will force one to betray the other. And eventually everything comes tumbling down.
I think you've astutely identified her tribe, the administrative state people.
Yeah. Zach.
I mean, to that point, that's the truth. I mean, she wants to promote all, and it all goes down to, can you believe them? These are promises. I mean, I think I can probably believe Kamala or Kamala, however you want to say it, Kumala, in what she wants to do with it, her policies. Like, she wants to give families a $25,000 credit to afford a house, which is really just going to be illegals, right? So that's going to put stress on the debt. That's going to cause the whole cartel to basically come crumbling down. So, I mean, that's where crypto comes in handy. And I think, to Greg's point, where you have a lot of the crypto people in the red tribe, I mean, they should be kind of, if they're truly in the crypto for what it really is worth, they should be looking at the Kamala victory, because then you can prepare and you can prep and you can be ready, so that when the system comes crashing down under Kamala, you know where to do, where to go, what to do, and you have your safety net.
Yeah. I mean, isn't it weird? Two things. Isn't it weird? Back early Bitcoin days, I remember that it was a valuable thing for demonstration purposes when I remember one of the early ones when Cyprus raided people's bank accounts, that if you had a bank account in Cyprus, that your money was stolen from you by the government, and that led to a Bitcoin price going up. And price going up was just an indicator. It led to people understanding the value of holding a decentralized currency like Bitcoin. And yet when we're talking about US politics, it's all about who can fit the best regulations in, right? Which is backwards. It's like, I think we should want US to go the opposite. It's like, let's get the worst case scenario, and Bitcoin is going to show its actual utilitarian value. On the other hand, isn't it odd that the very best places in the world for crypto regulation, and I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just going to cite this. I think across the board, most people will point to Switzerland, that they have codified it. They have done their best to objectively lay out rules. But the sad thing about
Mexico's
it is
actually pretty good too.
Is it? Well, that's good. See, the sad thing about all the regulations that are good that I know of, all focus on equity, all still focus on crypto as a security, which is totally fucking backwards. And that's why if you hand this shit off to the lawyers and let them do their thing and care about what these regulators want, then you're never going to get what crypto, what blockchain, what this technology is actually good for, which is liberty. Because they don't give a shit about liberty. They want to fit it into where their puppet strings will allow their hands to go.
A good way to think about it is it's an automated way to get the same effects that you get from clerical bureaucracy.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Can I add one more item to that?
That's the last question.
One item I'd like to add to this is, if you're looking for a tribe, I would strongly recommend that you stop looking to the right or to the left, the red or the blue team, and this kind of thing, and pick your tribe as a tribe that is promoting liberty, and focus on liberty. But more importantly, even more than that, I believe that tough times are ahead, and you need to start thinking about your tribe like maybe your local community and your friends and family and neighbors, so that you're not looking to the regime for support and for help and for handouts. You become more self-sufficient, because I think times are a changing and it's going to be tough. You need to buckle up, buttercups, because it's not looking pretty, in my opinion. I know I'm blackpilling you.
Was right on here.
And so
find the others.
So what you got to do is things like crypto is a parallel system. It's a parallel system and an alternative to this endless spending and the fiat money that's coming down. And the bubbles that are going to be popping. So I strongly encourage you, and we got a show coming up about blockchain and prepping and preppers and blockchain. That's going to be a good one. It's going to be an important one. And that's where I would say, if you're going to pick a tribe, don't be tribalism towards just blockchain or think of liberty, and don't be just a tribal, Bitcoin and only Bitcoin. So there you go.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike, decentralized and township liberation.
Okay. All right. We are now, we're overdue. We're past the time, but we are now into memes and current events. So where do you guys want to go first? What's the first thing that
Rogan Trump 3 hour, and the Kamala opted for 1 hour, and she couldn't sit for 3 hours. And I was glued to the Rogan Trump thing, but I was disappointed that Rogan didn't pin him down more.
What they didn't cover Gaza. I didn't watch it.
Well, I think the point was to get Gaza. They didn't. Was to get people to hear him talk unadulterated. Like, he obviously said some stuff that made
Joe Rogan want to do a
double take. But
if it's like, what's the most current, the current biggest event going on in the world is World War III, which is Ukraine and
Aliens.
Gaza, and a genocide going on in Gaza, and you don't even have one of the candidates, especially Trump, especially after he's taken money from a
Hopefully
dual
they hit that with
citizen.
Vance.
Because that's not on Rogan's agenda either.
Yeah,
No,
Right.
it's crazy.
I will
Oh,
say
yeah.
this on Rogan though. At least Trump basically said aliens are real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a psyop. Why do you trust
Elon
anything?
would disagree.
Yeah.
I got to split. I'll see you guys later.
Andrew, thanks, buddy.
Peace, Andrew.
Yep. Cheers.
Happy
man.
Halloween.
Have a good one. Thank
Be
you.
safe.
You guys too. Have a good time, guys.
Oh, this is an interesting meme.
Shout out
Sorry.
to Lisa and Sean. We miss you.
Yes. And what do you think about Trump as the shepherd?
The-
The good
My
shepherd.
only-
Black sheep.
My only
Black sheep.
shepherd is Christ.
I think the
Yes.
funny thing about that is it paints all of the people who are on board with Trump as so uniform, and this is a common mistake they make. What you've got
No, not
in-
all of them are. In fact, I
in
mean,
the Trump
it's like
field, what you got in the Trump field is like this really weird pastiche of people who used to not realize they were political allies. I think.
well, I don't. Here's the thing. I think that's what's possible. I don't think Trump is taking it as he should have. That there are so many people on the left that would agree if he were to take a stand against the genocide, as an example,
Yeah.
or for against censorship. I mean, there's so many
He kind of
people
has
that
already, actually,
Yeah.
hasn't he?
against genocide. Has he?
Yeah, against the he doesn't like the death. Like he wants to end the fighting.
Oh.
That's always been his goal.
He's talking about
really?
Lebanon. He said he wants to end the
He
fighting
is.
in Lebanon. He will end the fighting
Yeah.
in Lebanon. And it's like, oh, how's he going to do that? He's like, well, he's maybe he'll. I know Reagan threatened him when they.
Well, but
did
on
that
the
last
podcast,
time.
you get a hint at how he gets away with it. Because he'll call
It's
up
in-
people and
yeah.
threaten things.
Yeah.
You know,
Is he
can
gonna-
do
he can make
this
Mexico
technically.
It's
pay for it.
interesting
Okay.
how history is repeating itself. I mean, there is somewhat of a correlation between Trump and Reagan's presidency or
Yeah.
potential second presidency. I mean, especially with the Middle East and Lebanon.
Here, speaking about Trump, I've seen this so often. You can't see this; it's too small. I can't make it bigger. But checking all the boxes, and this is if you care about Judeo-Christian, blah blah blah, whatever, end of times BS. But it is
Well, I mean,
interesting.
You have to be a very specific subset in order to
Yes,
think this
yes.
is a mythos that goes beyond
Yes.
just
It's interesting though.
a misinterpretation of a rebellious letter against Rome under Nero.
Are my red
Trump
heifers from
convert?
Texas on that list, Joe?
Would you say?
Are my
He
red
did kind of
heifers from
convert after he
Texas on
got
that
shot.
list?
Oh, I don't think they are. I don't think they are. They should
Oh, then
be.
it's invalidated.
Yeah, the Texans. Yeah, I still blame you guys. If they ever actually burn, what do they do? They burn them? Do they slaughter them? What do they do? I don't know how they.
I don't know. We just sell them and collect the money here in Texas. That's all
Yeah,
I.
that's horrible.
That's all that
You
matters.
guys had a chance to protect the world, but oh man, I can't play it. There's one meme
With that
that I
almighty
cannot
dollar.
play. I'm not going to play that one.
No.
That was dangerous.
Hey, so can we go down the list real quick? And you got one answer. You can only name a name. Who is
One
going to
name.
win Tuesday? Joe.
Oh
word.
God.
One word answers.
Who's going to win Tuesday? And it can only be one entity, one person,
One person. The
Satan.
election.
Satan is going to win on Tuesday. Freaking, that's that is I'm very confident with that. It doesn't even matter if they cheat. Doesn't matter if they don't cheat. Satan's going to win. Lots of people die.
Oh my gosh, Greg. One name.
Elon Musk is going to win.
Zach.
Ah.
Is Elon Satan? No. I'm gonna have to agree with Joe on this one. Satan wins on Tuesday.
By the way, not the only
So-
winner. It's just the one that we're allowed to say, right? So yeah.
Yeah. So I would go for. You know what? I'm just gonna drop it.
Lots of people.
It's
win at the
gonna
same
be the
time.
synagogue of Satan.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
A little more specific. Okay. All right. A little
All
more
right.
specific. I would
Free
agree.
speech is only free if all views may be heard. So I love it.
I'm gonna say, yeah, I don't know. Wow, I don't know if I can top that one, Zach. I'm gonna say, well, it is one thing. It's the Intel Superstate, or also named the Swarm.
I think
The
we'll agree.
Swarm.
That's
They're going
saying
to win.
And by the way, okay, so then the follow on to that question that I'm going to bring up is who is going to lose? What entity? What person? What entity? What thing? What concept?
I'll
is
go
going to
first.
lose? Okay,
Humanity.
very
Yeah.
good, very good. All right, Greg.
Gonna say Haitian migrants. Either way.
They lose. Wow,
Wow.
man. Okay,
Oh,
all right, I'd have to
goodness.
work that through. I'm not sure. Do they lose because there aren't as many geese available? Or
I don't know.
they all flew
It
south.
just seems like either side is now no longer really their friend.
wow. And here's the weird thing. They
Oh,
were, and
hold on.
I'll bring this up in their defense real quick. Haiti was French colony, right? When they took over, right? And
Yes.
there you understand why they are eating the ducks. Because if you go to France, it's like that's all they eat is duck, right? You go anywhere, it's always duck, right? I don't know why that is.
I hate
Duck
geese,
is-
so I say go at it, man.
Okay. All right. And Zach has not answered. Who loses?
Oh, everybody loses.
I think I agree with Zach. I wasn't even thinking that. I was going to say free
Even
speech,
the
a
animals.
stupid thing. But
And,
yeah,
and
Well,
according
everybody
to Trump,
loses.
if
Well,
Kamala
follow-up
lo-
question then. In the worst of both worlds, where we obviously live, according to if we go based on the presumptions of the answers you guys have given so far, among those two, which is your preferable world? So I want to
the
get your positive
preferable.
answer. Which one would you like? What would
I'm
be?
gonna
at
go with-
least
Oh, who do we want
I'm
to
gonna
win?
go with Trump.
about it.
I'm gonna go with Trump on this one, and if Kamala wins, we're just gonna go just supersede into this green energy initiative, and then all the
Ugh.
windmills are gonna fuck with the sound waves
Kill
of the
all
whales.
the fucking whales.
Yeah, all the whales are dead, man. And we need to
The
save the
Japanese
whales.
win then, right? Fuck
Yeah.
you, dolphin.
Okay, and
It's a conspiracy to kill the whale.
wow.
Yep.
I'm
So-
going to say if Kamala wins, then Texas wins.
So that's who you prefer. You want Kamala to win? That was the question, right? Who
I
do we
mean,
want to win?
you got to get rid of Greg Abbott first.
I
I
know.
don't think you get Texas with Greg Abbott.
There are probably
There's
people
some
close to
stairs
him
in the way,
that
right?
could get
There's
him.
there's a yeah. I signed up for the WEF Tar and Feather Club.
Man, can I say who I'd want to win?
Mega
It's a
Texas.
really hard. That's a really hard answer for me because although I want everything to collapse, I want to see the end of the Fed before I die. I want to see evil people. You know, we could say politicians, bankers. I want to see them hanging on lampposts, not by me, by my hand, but I will celebrate. I will dance. I don't dance, but I will dance when I see these people hanging on lampposts, right? And yet, I don't know if I can stand the cringe and embarrassment of her speaking to the rest of the world and them, having any attribution of her being associated with me as my leader. It's all, I don't know if it's bearable because I mean, every time I watch a clip of her, it is so cringy. I don't even know if I can take it.
Word salads. I can't handle it. I'll be honest with you. I have a hard time
What's
listening.
weird is there
to
used to be a
Trump,
brain in there.
too. I get
I
tired
think
of all
Montel
the
Williams
same-
got rid of it.
So you
Same
guys should check this out. Actually,
adjectives.
you can go back in on archive.org if it's back up, and search and find really old videos of her talking right around the time she was graduating law school, with people on like a live stream podcast. She's young enough that, or really not young enough, she imposed herself upon young people enough that she was able to do that. Because she was late in life law student, right?
Was
Yeah.
she?
Yeah.
Is she a
So,
plant? Was she a plant like Obama was? You know, did they place her there and then set her up with
So you can
Montel
go back
and
and
then
see
set
her
her up
say
with the mayor?
coherent sentences
Possibly,
with people
yeah.
back then, and it's crazy
that's
because
crazy.
she doesn't do it anymore.
Yep. Oh, this is a great meme right here.
Let me just say this.
This is one of my favorite memes. Let's give this meme a moment of time because it is very brilliant and true, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
truth is funny.
And
Anyway,
they're
all right,
both
true,
sorry.
probably.
They're all immature, and they're also fucking children.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Kamala's my
Yikes.
age, by the way.
Really? I don't know what your age
Yep.
is, but okay, we can look it up
I-
now, right? How old
Yeah,
is
she's
Kamala?
60. She's 60. I'm evergreen young though.
This is another interesting
Sarah.
topic, I think, for the future here, right? So
you are forever
presuppose for a
30.
come with me on a thought experiment for a second, guys, about the future, and then apply it to whichever regime, right? Okay, so here's the theory. Between now and the end of this next 4 years, there's going to be a whole bunch of hubbub about how somebody invented a pill that reverses aging. And this is going to be getting fast tracked by the FDA. It's already in early clinical trials with humans. And when that thing hits, which one would you want in power and why?
Anything
Neither. I don't
FDA
want. I
approves,
see.
yeah.
I'm going to embrace my, the part of me that trusts anarchy over established regimes. So that's a hard one.
Just
for
look up. By anybody who wants to find out about this, you can look up OSK, the letters OSK, and Sinclair and Yamanaka, and you'll get papers. Oh, yeah, add small molecule to that if you want to read specifically about the drug.
me.
This research has been going on since 2015.
You're
It's pretty
talking. Okay, you're
fantastic.
talking about in like.
Is David
an
Sinclair
enterprise.
part of this one? Or is this
I'm
the
sorry?
other gentleman from? Is David Sinclair part of this one, or
This
this
is
a
David
different
Sinclair.
group?
Yeah, this is his lab's research.
Why can Grok not tell us how old Kamala Harris is? I don't understand it. Anyway, and how
Flips
about this
mini.
as a current event? This one was funny, right?
Oh, Lisa was talking
Apropos.
about this because she
So
was all over the
apropos.
1789.
Yeah, it was right when she was answering the question about this, how solid the U.S. dollar is as a reserve currency, right? And then
Now we know the blur filter is just repeating the top half of the frame.
yeah, I don't know why.
Watch.
Yeah,
Boom. It goes on the filter too. And then her head moves, which wouldn't have happened otherwise.
that's funny.
Clear
Man.
reptilian.
Anyway, yeah. Oh, what is that?
She's a
What do you guys
Muppet.
think about
I
the
think she's just a
reptilians?
really
It's
advanced
a
Muppet.
Muppet. She's a
She's a
reptilian Muppet.
Hey, she would look like a freaking Henson Muppet, wouldn't she?
She
Yeah,
does,
that
man.
Henson
She
would
looks
also
like
does
straight out of
give somebody
the
hair
Dark
like that.
Crystal.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the
I was gonna say more like
Miss
Fraggle
Skeksis,
Rock,
Skeksis.
but I mean Dark Crystal
Fraggle
works.
Rock. Dark Crystal, same similar.
I would tell you the
Fraggle.
Skeksis to this day still creep me out. And yet
Who does? What
The
creeps
Skeksis.
you
Maybe
out?
never ending story.
the Skeksis in Dark Crystal, right? They were Skeksis, I think, right? I can't remember. The freaking bird, the nasty. I was like, oh, that was creepy, man.
She does kind of look like this. Yeah, she kind of does.
This meme is perfect because this is what Lisa and I talked about on the Monday show.
Really,
I
really.
define who the we are, or who are
Really?
they? Who are they? Who
You
are
did.
they? And yeah, I thought it was one of our
I
better.
still think there's not a
Monday
specific
shows.
they.
This
I
meme
think
is,
the they is the system.
Yes, it's called the swarm, using systems theory, applying systems theory that Dr. Shiva uses, and you define the system.
Although
And
there
that
was kind of a
tells you who
hint
the
this
they
week.
are.
There was kind of a hint this week that there might be a specific like dark they behind the censorship efforts after what happened with the recent FOIA request they got back from which department? They have some new against CISA. There's some new CISA FOIA request documents that are corroborating a lot of the Twitter files and allowing them to piece together some conversations.
I love
they
this one,
couldn't
by the way.
before. Holy shit!
Inflation's not actually that high.
They figure out a dark actor. You should go read about it, guys.
It's a beautiful.
It's on Matt Taibbi's
Cool.
thing.
Cool. Here's part of they. This is at least one of the factions of they.
Yep, it's in the bubble. It's in the bubble that we go over all the different bubbles of the
They
system.
look like a circus act, kind of.
They do.
Doesn't
Like
it?
something you put on stage at Vegas.
It is all a freaking just. It is a circus. It is a clown show, right? Speaking
It's
of
Clown
which,
World. Clown World and Hell are the same place.
this is not made, by the way. This was their actual campaign to put this out. make Israel great again. I'm
What a
surprised there's an
meme.
American flag behind him, frankly, but
Yeah.
anyway.
There's got to be some real dirt there if it doesn't matter who wins that happens.
Well, I mean,
Or
yeah.
is it? Or
Now
is it
that-
that
Oh, yeah.
there's no
You know
winning
there is.
if you don't
Some real
kowtow
dirt.
to it?
Some real
Which is it?
control. Well, some of it's dirt, some of it's money, some of it's
Do you think it's more
fucking kids.
an issue of if you don't kowtow to it, you don't win, or if you win, then you've already kowtowed to it because the people that don't.
if you are
not
nominated, you've already kowtowed.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
not even fucking there unless you've done it.
Right,
so.
you have gone on a
Mhm.
public stage and said that and said a loyalty oath, right? Essentially.
Yep.
Yeah. How
Is
is
that
he
your-
93? How
that
is
true?
he 93? Amazing.
adrenochrome.
Yeah, probably.
So is it possible to have an insurgent one of those though?
Good one.
What
An
what
insurgent
happened with what happened with Bill was
A
when
false
he
oath taker.
got away with murdering his what was it, his second, was it his second or third
Second wife. I think
Yeah,
it was
his second wife. That's when he started consuming the adrenochrome.
What, really?
Hmm.
I didn't even know any of this.
His
Wow.
second wife died in a pool, right?
It
Okay.
was either a pool or the bathtub. It was very suspicious though.
Yeah.
Like there was no way that he just drowned.
Yeah,
But
it was
there's no
too
evidence.
weird.
So,
Too weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Dude, how the? Oh no, he's. I know what he's doing. There's a clinic you can go to in South America if you can afford it.
That's
Is that for
probably what it is.
ayahuasca or something?
No, it's
No.
literally just like you can
What do you-
go and like he's already taken the therapeutics that are on the market yet. This is an example of what happens when you take that reverse aging pill
Yeah,
or something like it.
I know exactly what's going on. It's post scarcity Star Trek socialism. That's what's
yeah,
helping.
he just carried it back with him from the set.
So Gene Roddenberry was a socialist. Is that what you're proposing, Zach?
I mean,
Here?
I
yes
just think
and
he didn't
no.
want to deal with economics.
Yeah, I don't think he did either. No, well, Gene Roddenberry was awesome though, just on the fact that he did basically tell the world through the lens of futuristic exploits.
Yeah. I have a.
Technically, he could have been they could have been living in an advanced capitalist society.
I have a
in
3 or
reality.
4
Right, 'cause they could have had
step
blockchain
connection.
systems doing all the economics for
into-
them behind the scenes.
I mean, I won't bore you with
Cool.
details.
I mean,
Well,
that's essentially what the replicator
Whoa.
is. Right?
Time out. 3 or 4 step connection
Yes.
to who?
Yes, it's a funny
To
one. and it's very-
Roddenberry?
Yeah. So the only reason Star Trek was created is because of Lucille Ball, right?
Yes.
Yep. And
Uh-oh.
Lucille Ball's, what was it? Vivian Vance, is that her name? Who was also on I Love Lucy, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. So she went to
Neighbor.
school with my grandma. So they were in the same grade and same town and a little bitty town in Kansas, right? So
Wow.
anyway, all right. How about this one? I care. So, Greg, what is your favorite dinosaur?
Oh my god, that is a really tough question. I was obsessed with dinosaurs when I was a kid.
Me too.
You know what? I'm gonna have to go with the Utah raptor.
Oh, nice. And I guess the secondary question is, does it still exist? Because not in terms of living, but several dinosaurs that were, I think Brontosaurus as an example,
Mhm.
Yeah.
they don't
So-
exist anymore.
So fun
Right?
fact.
Like,
Fun fact.
it was a
about the
thing when I was a
Utah
kid.
raptor.
Anyway, okay. All right.
But fun
William.
fact about the Utah raptor is you guys have heard of velociraptors, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In reality, they're tiny. They're more like the
Yes.
compies in Jurassic Park than they are like
Yes.
the velociraptors in Jurassic Park. The Utah raptor is the actual thing that you would have seen as velociraptor had they discovered it before the film was made or Michael Crichton wrote the book.
Ah, yes. Before he
Mhm.
named it. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, William.
So they actually discovered it afterwards.
William.
I was going to say the velociraptor, but I have a strong. I every time I see a bird, I see a dinosaur, and it kind of freaks me out. To be honest with
There you go. There you go. Remember who you are, by the way. This is always important. Remember who you are, right? All right,
We're all
Zach.
chicken. I'm gonna go with the
Favorite
chicken. The chicken
They're
is
both
the
All right,
my
dinosaurs.
all right.
favorite
Clearly
dinosaur.
both dinosaurs.
So-
And I have one, and the reason that I even thought this was funny.
No,
is-
actually, Brontosaurus. Speaking of that, I actually do like the Brontosaurus.
but it's a Brachiosaurus or some shit now, right?
Yeah, Bronchi.
That's right.
Yeah.
I I don't know why they changed it.
Brontosaurus was like a
wow,
classification for several different variations of them.
It's
They,
like
figured
Pluto.
out this one's different from
We
that
do
one,
not
and they had to name it
recognize
something.
the rights of Pluto as a planet anymore. Much
But
like
it's still a
Brontosaurus. And then
Well,
this
if Pluto
one,
were a planet, we'd also have like 15 more on top of that. Is
the one with 500 teeth. Anyway.
You know what? As a red
That's a
heifer
joke.
Texan, I
sorry.
should probably have said the Stegosaurus, with the horns and the big shield.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it. Here, let's see here. I'll close that one out. This one's also brilliant. A trace of the true self. See, there's something in my way. I can't read it. Exists in a false self. Isn't this funny that they make dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets, but chickens are actually dinosaurs, and isn't this a brilliant thing?
Wow.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, and it also like reminds you that birds are fucking terrifying, which I think is appropriate.
They are,
because birds are fucking. Have you ever met a peacock in person? Don't, because you'll have a slash across
I've
your
seen
chest.
Several of them. Yeah,
they'll leap at you if they were
there's
bigger
a-
than
an
you
ostrich.
afterwards.
Have you seen an ostrich? Have been close to an ostrich? Man,
No,
they're scary.
I'm not crazy.
Those shouldn't even
I
exist.
got a family of turkeys that are nearby.
What's that?
Really?
I said I got a family of turkeys. They actually, I haven't seen them in a while, and I just saw them this morning.
Wow.
Did Haitians move in your neighborhood?
Be careful.
Probably.
It's
I
possible
wouldn't
to
be
ride
surprised.
ostriches,
I'm not very far from Springfield. I'm only about maybe 45 minutes from Springfield.
Wow.
Right on. All right, here's another one. 8-pack guy memes. Here, I'll give you some philosophy quotes. I don't even know how that got in there. It's not really a meme. Maybe it is. I don't know.
That doesn't seem accurate to me.
You don't think so?
No, I wouldn't think so.
I think
if
that's
you're reading
it's
already.
gonna
I think if you're in better shape, the blood runs out faster.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Ask
if you got like
yeah, but
congestive
you're less
heart failure,
likely to
you're not going to
bleed
as
Greg.
profusely.
The main point is you're less likely to bleed if you sweat.
I know. I was just being a douche.
I know it. You're just trying to be difficult. I'm sorry. I'm skipping through. I'm skipping through a bunch of stuff I can't show.
What else
Did
is going on in
anybody
the
else
world?
pick out that I'm Guilfoyle?
Yeah.
Because I was trying to be Guilfoyle today.
What else?
Is going on in the world? What else is going on, guys?
There is a lot going on in the world.
A lot.
We haven't touched.
Yeah.
We haven't touched on the whole garbage conundrum.
Oh, what happened? Is that
was Biden calling the garbage Republicans garbage?
Well, it was after the joke, the Puerto Rico joke at the
the rally at Madison Square Gardens.
For YouTube purposes, let's just call it what the left calls it, a Nazi rally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it says. There's a Wikipedia page for this now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wikipedia is absolutely.
This was powerful,
but
clearly corrupt.
Yeah.
No, here I'll let me take us down. I'll get some audio and we can watch this one real quick. All right.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah, let me do this. I have to share it.
You should
with
pull
audio.
up the Wikipedia page for the Trump Nazi thing and just read it. See what they have to say about Trump being a Nazi.
Oh, Trump being a Nazi?
God, so
It's on Wikipedia.
One second.
I mean, that was what
we can do it
Biden,
true, right?
I'll play this
Biden's
real quick.
little spiel. Honestly,
All right,
Biden's little spiel was like, I think he wants Kamala to lose.
I think so too.
I think he's bitter.
I think he is.
It's the reason
He
put on that
forgets
MAGA
why.
hat on that stuff.
He forgets why, and then they give him an ice cream, and he's all good.
As a direct result of
Exactly.
U.S. sanctions. And she looks back at her with a straight face and she goes, it was a really tough decision, but I think that it was worth it.
Is the price worth it? I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it.
Worth murdering 500,000 kids because of what the government did? And I apologize for crying, but it just disgusts me from my core when I see government people murdering people around the world. It's not just theoretical. These are real people with real lives. And Bitcoin has the power to undermine everything they're doing to people around the world. And I'm sorry for shouting, but it just disgusts me what these people in government do. And they do it through central banking and through the control of the money supply, and Bitcoin takes that away from them.
That's the truth, right? That is why Bitcoin's here.
That was the vision.
And
that's
people
why
make
they
fun
did
of him
this.
for that. And I'm like,
that's
what
why
the
they
hell?
did this.
Roger Ver's awesome.
Luckily, they haven't totally destroyed the access to open source software yet, so one can fork and do what one wants.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and I by the way, I do think Bitcoin Cash and the free Bitcoin that has multiple aspects is going to win in the end.
The first man through the door always gets shot in the face anyway.
I'm never going to be weighted on. Oh, but it's worth less. Is it?
Now, quick question to ask: who won the block wars, the small or the big blockers?
It's not over. It's not over.
I don't think it's a war.
It was the first major battle.
Yep.
I think there's a multi-chain universe that we're talking about in the future that this thing scales a lot easier horizontally, right? I think
the funny thing
big
is
block and small block. There's purpose for both.
There's maybe, but the consensus is interesting because do you go by what it's worth in dollars, or do you go by how effective and whether people are using it for what the original paper said it was for, and there's not maybe consensus on that yet, but
because it's a trade-off in security for a trade-off in efficiency is what you're talking about with big block, small block. Ultimately, security is decentralization, and small block means more decentralized or a more decentralized ecosystem, because if it's less trouble to run a node, then you
that's bullshit though,
right?
That's the idea. That's
More
the
people
argument,
run it. If
but
it's small,
the fact
if it's big,
well,
you can run a
they
lot
tried
more
to
stuff
say
a
that
lot faster.
They tried to say that,
and
I pointed out that I had this little bitty device that was able to run
multiple chains. Have the benefits of both.
Yeah, that's bullshit though. That was the argument. Yes, the argument they made, and you can make some arguments with that, but it's.
My argument is simply
that's assuming
that the markets did what we needed them to do, and they created options for both.
Do you guys see this?
No, I disagree, Greg.
And
I think.
But I also don't think that
there's
going to be only one in the end either.
Yeah, good for the lady to step in between.
What
but
the hell
honestly, I think that it all goes back to Menger's theory of value subjectivity. I think there's a means for one side to the other. So you're going to put value into what you perceive as value to you. So the big blockers and the maxis, I mean, they see the value for what it is within the dollar. No, well, Mises carried it over from Menger. So Menger, Mises did carry over the same idea that Menger came about with, but Menger came first. Menger was born first.
I didn't realize that.
So I mean, the Austrian theory was born with Menger and carried over with Mises.
You learn something new every day. I learned a little bit of something about the roots of Austrian economics. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, no, it's fascinating, the history of it. But that's basically what it is. Like, everybody has a niche into their own value, and so the small blockers, the brilliance of it is the forking. I mean, we still have open source. We can still decentralize. We can still build on projects that promote privacy. I mean, you see that with Xano. You see that with Bitcoin Cash. You see, I mean, more so with Xano or tokens on the Suts, because it's built into a privacy chain where, I mean, but Bitcoin based built onto the mainframe for the utility of what Bitcoin is supposed to be, right? So
answer to the earlier question. Yeah, sorry. Keep going.
I was going to say that, Greg, I will agree with you in that if the libertarian viewpoint is, all right, I will use Bitcoin as my digital gold, and I'll recognize Bitcoin as digital gold, but I will use, say, Litecoin or Bitcoin Cash or something else of that nature that is more for peer-to-peer electronic cash, then so be it.
Or I might hedge my Bitcoin bet into another one that would serve another purpose, just like people stockpile both gold, silver, and copper, right? It's not so much. I feel like in a free market, what you have are competing systems that parallel one another to a certain degree.
Yes.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I welcome the big block stuff. I just think that it shouldn't be. Maybe the question that's wrong is that you won. It's like, well, they both run, so they both work to do what people want them to.
And the price
to
dynamics
use
of
for.
Bitcoin Cash are its own. For example.
Look, I just look at I'll go back and say though that in a sense we lost the battle only because people were starting to accept Bitcoin. Large corporations were accepting Bitcoin, and it was taking off. And,
oh yeah,
and that's
amazing.
what was
People
driving
buying
up the
Teslas
price
with fucking Bitcoin
because
for a minute there.
it was driving up the price because of the demand for it to be used.
Awareness. Yep, that's the truth.
What's interesting to me
And
is do you think after
and then Michael Saylor got involved?
No, then big blocks came and they broke and you couldn't use it and the fees went up and they said, oh, use this with a hood. I have a hood and I tell you to use Lightning Network, and now everybody's
other
saying
events
it doesn't work.
Right. Did you guys see that Elon has openly said he's going to be firing Lena Khan as part of Doge?
Who's Lena Khan?
Yeah,
the head of the FTC.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
The crazy merger prevention person.
It wouldn't surprise me if Mark Cuban votes for Trump so that he can run in 2028. I think Mark Cuban he wants to run.
He's definitely voting for Trump.
He's secretly voting for Trump because I don't.
It's all an act.
If Kamala does win, she's going to pull Cuban into like the role of the FTC.
Oh God,
that's scary.
Oh
God.
He mentioned
What's Mark
that.
Cuban's real name though?
What's that?
What's Mark Cuban's real name?
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Does he change his name?
Yes.
Yeah, why did he change his name?
Everybody should change their name, I feel like, just for fun. You can still go by your actual name, but just to go out and see, because anyone's allowed to do it for any reason. I guess you're not allowed to do it for criminal purposes, but you're allowed to do it arbitrarily. So,
okay, I'm changing my name to Ben Shapiro.
Well, actually, I think they have rules against changing your name to the same name as famous people. They might fight you.
Okay,
but you can probably
George
win in court.
Shapiro. Yeah. Oh, I'll fight him in court. I'll say
Benjamin. They say Benjamin, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Benji Shapiro.
Oh my goodness! Look at that. I was one of those.
Wait, were you?
Yeah, I was a Mormon missionary.
Really?
Oh, wow.
I did not know that.
Drinking my coffee.
Friendliest damn people on earth, man.
I have a Mormon church that's not far from me. It's actually kind of nice. I've been in.
Seriously, like
kind of
friendly people. I've never met an unfriendly
They
Mormon.
are a little too friendly. I think it's a sign.
Always be converting, right?
There were a lot in Bellevue. Bellevue was a big they had a huge temple there with this great big thing up above it. It's like, wow, what is
Moroni
that? It's crazy.
Yeah, Angel Moroni on top. Yeah.
Ben Shapiro. I can't stand Ben Shapiro. I don't know about you guys. There's some funny memes about him though. Like
I can't stand him, but he does get his point across. So like,
well, he's not dumb, but
articulate.
Yeah, he's not
dumb.
The problem is really his fans, not himself.
No, the problem is with him and his puppet masters. Frankly,
I don't know. I don't have any particular disdain for the guy.
Here's the thing: what role is Jared Kushner, going to have in the Trump administration? What
national
he's going to choose all of the people? He's going to choose
national
all of the team. I know
security advice.
This is early life of Jared Kushner.
No,
he's going to be a foreign
He's
ambassador.
Trump's blind spot. He's the neocon bribe. That's the genius right there.
He's going to be the ambassador to El Salvador. He'll be the ambassador to El Salvador.
Really, man? I don't know. I think JD Vance. By the way, JD Vance came out with a seemingly
John Bolton. Sorry,
and very conservative line about do we want to go to war with Iran? He's like, no, I don't think we want to. And it's funny. He phrased it in terms of our overlap of agreement with Israel. There's like, oh, we agree with them on some things and not on others. And my thing is that is a setup because he's already said in the past he wants to destroy Iran because that's what his Israeli puppet masters want him to think and say. And this was notably different, and I think it is so that he can point to something, so that when they do kill Trump, he can point to, it's like, okay, you heard me. I was against it, but I'm forced now. We are forced to go to war with Iran because they killed Trump, and now I'm president. Who could have imagined such a thing?
If you had to call anybody in his former administration an interventionist, it'd be that one.
Do you think Trump's he'll get elected and then they'll assassinate him?
I think what I think. I think that. Well, let me back up. It's going to be interesting to see if he really takes office if he wins the election.
Yeah,
by the J6 time frame.
I think there's a chance they try to stop
going to
it
be
in
so
advance.
many shenanigans that they're going to try to pull.
Now, you think they're holding the shenanigans for post-election because they've?
Well, did you hear they tried to do a CISA, or there was a cybersecurity tabletop exercise that was supposed to take place on election day that got shut down. Like the entirety of the cybersecurity staff was supposed to be doing some kind of like what happens if the U.S. government has to take control to stop a tyrant from taking over the United States tabletop exercise on election day.
Interesting.
Well, interesting.
This was actually written.
I
think Senator Rand Paul wrote to them and asked them what the fuck.
It's very
they
very
had to respond
odd,
and they canceled the event.
That Trump's, by the way, two different assassination attempts, right? I don't know how close they got, right? I know one they got pretty close, right? But he immediately came out blaming Iran for it, which is pretty crazy.
That's a narrative. Yeah.
And once when they kill me, he literally said, if they kill me, you need to go you need to go against Iran. It's like anyway, it's crazy. And then we go, and I'm going to tell you the three things that tied together that kind of like, holy shit. You go, JFK, look up who Zapruder was. Why was he filming? Why was he filming? And look that up and just, okay, just hold it there. Then you look at 9/11 and you look at the dancing Israelis. They literally said they were there to film the event, that they Mossad, whatever else, they knew it was going to happen. They were filming it. Then you look at the incomplete or the Trump assassination attempt that was unsuccessful, thankfully. That the reason that they have that one picture of the streak of either blood or the bullet, and everybody, it was funny because everybody's like, that's fake. That's fake because a camera wouldn't capture that. And guess what? Lo and behold, it turns out that the photographer not only hadn't been to any Trump events at all, he wasn't like on his, on what do you call it, in the pool going around filming it. Not only was he not there, he just happened to show up to this one. He had the highest end sports photography equipment. And you're thinking, this dude knew shit was going to happen.
That camera,
you look at that.
Yeah, like, that camera is very interesting because it was the highest end Canon camera you could use. And it has a setting where you can, basically it's capture everything, or do you set it to JPEG? And if it's set to everything, supposedly it could capture all of the detail, and you would be able to determine if that was airbrushed in or whatever photoshopped in or not, or was it on JPEG. And he was asked, that gentleman, the photographer was asked, will you provide all of the data off of that camera? Because it is possible that when he took that photo, it was immediately sent to their office to be able to alter and change it. And
you're talking about the difference between RAW and JPEG, right?
Yes, the modern speed. And that's why I say this is it's all Mossad. That's why, and I was saying this, it's like all three of those events have those same components, and it's kind of odd in every one of the cases that this
at
would
a
have
minimum
happened.
The strategy and tactics are the same.
But something funny. Here's this one.
It is
the line of the sophistication of self-driving cars with the probability of a country music song about a guy's truck leaving him is a brilliant meme. This is one that should be kept.
Wow.
Whoever put this one together, not me. Anyway,
Come back to this in 5 years because it's going to happen.
I love
and then
it.
billionaires. I started my multi-billion-dollar company in my parents' garage. That's funny.
Parents go out.
I've had discussions with the sons of billionaires before publicly on Twitter and similar things. Funny. Okay, I think we should close out. We have like 10 minutes ish. So let's start with here. I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's start with Greg. What's going on this week?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to take my time to say that, earlier might have sounded like I was delivering a hell of a blackmail when I was talking about what needed to happen, but I'm not. Really, what I'm all about with everything, what I'm encouraging other people's to be about during this election, if you're going to decide one way or the other still, and if you haven't got out there and done anything about it in a swing state still, right? Here's a motivation to go. The thing that we need is rear guard capacity. We got to build 2 more systems in blockchain land before we can build fully decentralized stack. When that goes online, none of this shit will matter. And I think that you need to vote for the person who is most likely to keep the lights on and keep the dogs at bay for just a little longer while we get those stood up. And then we'll see what happens when it's a truly decentralized stack from top to bottom and what that does to the economy. I think either way we win in that case, but I think we have to really focus this time around on who's most likely to keep civilization intact for a little longer.
Okay. William?
An important update happened on DIN. It's called, there's what's called a DAO, a Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And I find it fitting that we're facing an election here in the U.S., and we still cannot track our vote. We cannot verify the chain of custody of mail-in ballots. We cannot verify that our vote was counted properly and applied correctly. And we can't verify the total quantity of votes. But however, having said that,
reporting.
Hold on. Having said that, DIN DAO and other blockchain capabilities are there. And DIN has a DAO. And we had a major vote. And I see big things and big changes happening to DIN because we just voted for a position to be created to kind of be a leader or ambassador to DIN.social. And once that takes place, I see a lot of really good things happening with DIN. And you know what? It's just perfect that plugged in. That plugged in with the election, because now we're going to have an election. Who should be the leader of the DIN DAO? Yes. Even though that position does not have any kind of monetary control. There you go. So that's what's happening on DIN.social, and let's make it happen.
Right on.
Dude,
right on.
I think you should be it, man.
I put my name in the hat.
If you were nominated, would you do it?
Yes, I put my name in the hat. I did. Cool. Go look at DIN DAO, and I said I'll put my name in the hat.
Probably the most consequential vote you'll make this season.
Right on. Right on. Okay, Zach, what's going on this week?
Boom. The piggyback on both of y'all's points, William and Greg. And this goes into the sequence of using the blockchain as well as the absence of the blockchain, and it coincides with the election. I think federally, nationally, even your state, it's worthless. Like, voting is pointless. But if you stay local, you build relationships, you piggyback on coalitions with many people of many different perspectives, whether you're on the left, whether you're on the right, whether you're in the middle, you can utilize the concept of nullification. So if you can take your local township council, you can use that as a basis of taking back the power of your community and nullifying your state capital, nullifying DC. I mean, right now it's working fabulous in all places in California. Huntington, California actually has piggybacked on this since COVID. So they've actually nullified Sacramento a lot, especially with the COVID measures, with like the mask mandates, the vaccine mandates, all that. And you're talking about a town that has lefties as well as Trumpers, as well as just your typical fiscal conservative, like leave me the fuck alone individuals. So like that's where we need to be at. Is we need to
Damn right.
build up on this township liberation movement, and then we need to
Mega
effectively
Texas.
take that. Yeah. So then we have to take that, and then we need to expand it into the blockchain as well, because I think both can go coincide with one another. So, I mean, and if
federation
you
is a
ever
form of decentralization in government.
exactly. So, and if you ever want to hear more and talk with like-minded individuals, every Tuesday, Mike Decentralized holds a space. It's at 2 Free Mike. Actually, it's under his other handle at Town Liberation. It's every Tuesday, I believe, at 3 p.m. Eastern. He hosts a space where everybody can join together, speak all across the world, but for the most part, there's guys from Scotland, Australia, New Zealand, all over, as well as the United States. And just you get together, you talk about what's going on in the world, what's going on in your respective governments and your countries, and what can be done to nullify and decentralize. And then he also hosts something in a podcast format tonight. It'll be live on X as well at 8 p.m. Eastern. Same thing. Just
global localism.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's basically what we need to do. We need to nullify the dystopian regimes that we have today by using the blockchain and the local community. So, as for that, check out the Legacy Ride every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and X, and then check out on Wednesdays if you want to get away from all this black pilling politics. On Wednesdays on YouTube, and I've been trying to host it on my account at legacy_ZAK, Technically Trek. So check out Technically Trek on YouTube every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, so this week we need to set. I want a calendar invite so we can get this set up for real. I want to come and talk to you on that one.
Star Trek.
Cool. Okay.
With Star Trek?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll it's Wednesday, so I'll get you when he posts it up. I'll get you the StreamYard.
Cool.
You can just jump in. So
Sweet.
Because he likes everybody. He wants you to jump in and join.
Sweet.
Cool.
I'm in.
Okay. So for me, check out Dracario World. Probably in about 20 minutes or so, I'll be on X. There's a space there that is it's mostly an AMA today, but it's Halloween. It's a Spaces on X, and you're going to be required to be wearing a costume. I'm joking. And that I think we're going over. It's just open mic. Anybody can ask anything. So, but it's about Dracario World, which is about entropy and gaming and making something provably unpredictable. So it's a better way to do what is now done with random number generators, and the application of it is with character genetics and other character traits and things like this for gaming at the start. So there's a lot of cool stuff there. Watch that today and embrace the black pill. You know, it's real, and you might as well, embrace it and let it flow through you, and you will, you vote or not, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Just take it. Take the red and the blue pill. Anyway, that's the way the world is. The sooner you
if you take both, yeah. That's what it is. If you take both, then you'll get black pilled, and then inevitably you'll get clear pilled. You'll just skip white pill all over.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you can embrace the black pill, you will get to a clear pill sooner or later, and then then it's all just about riding it out and watching what shit happens. And make sure people will ping me
and read "Take the
DM.
Clear Pill" by Curtis Yarvin. That's a really good one.
They'll ping me on DM. It was like, what would you buy right now? And he's like, gold, silver, lead, dried food. That's what you need to be buying right now. None of the rest of this shit matters. So protect your family first. But anyway, all right, that's it. We'll see you guys next week. That was awesome. Have fun.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.